He's barking at something. Oi! Stop all that barking! Kiet came round. That's a motorbike. Pen said she brought some pork and rice around, so I don't normally eat this early.
Cookie has 3 of each.
All right. Yeah, it's very nice, thank you. Tasted like barbecue. She did it on a charcoal barbecue, so it's good. It's in one of those moods. Look, no biting. Smack. Look, it's got its teeth ready, you know what it wants. Ah. Right, I'm up. We had to go and buy a new microwave the other day because Pen exploded an egg in our microwave. Cool, I've had a long day today working on all bits and pieces around the house. I've just sat down, thought I'd have a nice rest, and then boom! Look what Pen's done to the microwave. What is that? I don't get a minute's peace around here. Can't relax for 1 minute. So that's the new one. It was only cheap. It was like 1,200 baht or something. When we were buying it, we were talking about microwaves, and Pen was saying most Thai people don't have a microwave. I found that a bit hard to believe. I thought, if they're all buying a bit of food from those roadside restaurants, surely they're heating it up a little bit when they get home. But Pen was saying, no, most Thai people think a microwave is like too posh for them. And she was saying our neighbour over there, they still cook with wood, like the dad goes around the rubber trees or whatever and picks up all the fallen down branches off the trees, and they build a fire every day and they cook with a fire. And the reason given, she says it tastes better if you cook with the wood. So, but that charcoal pork was pretty nice. That's why I was mentioning that. Yeah, the last few days I've just been carrying on with the door frames. Nothing interesting. Termite proofing them and lacquering them and starting to fit them, but I've run out of that. Well, sometimes I just put screws, sometimes I put that nail adhesive behind them as well. I want to get some in that gap there, so I need to go and buy some more from Home Pro. I've run out. You know what else I started doing was, I started having a look at fixing the plumbing in this bathroom. So I broke that tile off so I can get access to one of the pipes. And then I think I'm going to sort of cut it there and then drill through to the outside and send the water in from the outside and then run it along. I have to remove this bottom row of tiles. But I've decided what I'm going to do with this job, just to speed it up and make it easier for myself, is get the tile people back to do the tile removal and tile reinstallation. But I'm going to do the plumbing myself in the middle of that once they've got the tiles off. The other job I've been doing is carrying on with these double doors and just filling the gap around the sides. Been trying out some new products. I actually found this one was quite good. It's like an acrylic sealant. It's a bit rubbery, but apparently you can sand it and paint straight over it. So hopefully that will be okay. That's one of my issues here, is that this door doesn't shut. It catches at the top, so I've got to plane it down. So it looks like Pen and Kiet are picking a few vegetables here and there. What are you picking? Aubergines. Picking the aubergines. So I've been out here the last few days doing the door frames. In between that, when I'm waiting for them to dry, I've been off down here a little bit, pruning a few trees again. So a while back I did a full tree pruning, a few months ago was it now. After that the tree will push out a lot of new sprouts. You can see all those growing up the trunk there. I think in English they call them water shoots or water sprouts or something. You can see there's absolutely loads of them all growing up the middle there and all over the branches. They've all got to be removed. So instead of looking like that, they should be looking like this, all nice and clean and empty. As I've mentioned before, this is to let the sunlight get in there. If it's all covered with them water shoot things, and it just blocks the sunlight. Right, there goes Kiet. Alright, see you later. I've said before, but for any new viewers, Kiet goes around different farms and then picks vegetables and goes around on a motorbike selling it to people, and then she splits the profit with like whoever owns the farm. So like she'll come in here and pick some of our vegetables and go after other people, sell it. And also, as you saw, sometimes brings out a little bit of food to sell as well, like that pork and rice that I just had. What's all that barking, Bung Bung? You having a good time? Right, come Bung Bung in. Go in. We got a puncture the other day. Luckily we weren't too far from home. It was a big screw in the tyre, so we took it to have it patched. It was only 180 baht. We've been all round the car park. There's bushes everywhere. See, all down there, it's nothing but bushes. So it might not sound exciting to have a walk around the car park, but the dogs love it. Sniffing everything. And yeah, so I had a puncture on the back tyre here yesterday or the day before. I noticed it was flat and I just thought, oh, you know, I'll go to the town and back. But by the time I got to the town, I noticed a big screw in the tyre. But yeah, luckily Puk, our neighbour, was at home because he does like car recovery work as well. He's got like a vehicle for that. We were only up the road. He came and he changed the tyre for us. You know, I didn't have a jack or a nut turny thing, so I couldn't do it myself. But I'd been thinking recently whether I should change the tyres or not. The car's about 5.5 years old. The tyres are 6 years old. Yeah, I found the date code on them there. So it's 0216. I think that means the tyres are made in February 2016. So that means the tyres are just over 6 years old. And what I was reading online was saying that 6 to 10 years old is about the time you should think about changing them. They're not worn down or anything. They've got enough tread on them, but I was just thinking maybe they're getting too old now. What do you guys think? Is 6 years old about the right time to put new tyres, or should I leave it a little bit longer? Hit the muzzle in my cap. I really don't like this mask thing. I hope Thailand ditches it soon. It's just, it makes it more difficult to breathe. It makes you really sweaty. Just gets on my nerves. I'm thinking about getting one of these little step ladders so we can reach a little bit better up into the trees. And also because Pen's always climbing up silly things, trying to reach stuff. So unfortunately I do need to buy a plane to plane down some of the doors. And of all the ones they've got, there's this Stanley one. Fairly cheap Stanley one seems to be the best, just because it's got a reversible, what would you call it, swarf chute. So I won't have to have it shooting up into my face. Come out of Home Pro to find everyone asleep. So I guess if I'm the only one who's awake, then it's all up to me where we go next. Well, since we were driving past and it's still quite early, we thought we'd pop up to the shooting range in the army barracks here in Surat Thani. We thought it'd be a good place to walk the dogs as well. They've got a lot of space here, so. And Pen was saying they also do dog training here, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, you saw it on YouTube or something?
Facebook.
So does that mean you can bring your own dogs, or is it like, are you talking about army dogs?
No, our dog.
Right, so apparently you can bring your own dog to get trained here at the army barracks. Maybe we'll try and find out about that. Send him up the ramp, but then you've got to let him go. He's just weeing on it. Go on, up! Pen, you be careful on it. It's deserted around here, it's very quiet. Nothing much going on. All right, the dogs have had a nice walk around there. They've had some water as well. So we'll pop in here and see what's going on. All right, Pen's loading up the bullets. So the bullets is 1,000 baht a box. Renting the Glock is 500 baht. And the paper target is cheap. So my first shot's a bit wild down there, but I nearly got a kill shot on the second one. I'm only joking about the kill shot. We've got to shoot him in the legs, but the targets don't have legs on the target. Right, go on, get him again. Yeah, I think you got him under the arm again. Right, that was short and sweet.
Yeah, I think it's too much of your ear.
It's pretty hot, to be honest, so we're going to just get out of here, go and get a drink, I think. So me and Pen are both beginner shooters, so we need to practice a lot. And
I think we have to make Monday shoot next time.
Well, Pen's trigger discipline is not good, so that's what we need to work on the most, really. It's a bit difficult to film this and not drip it on myself, but as you can see, we're all having a bit of ice cream. Bung Bung really likes desserts and, well, anything sweet, really. Yeah, that was nice, actually. Bung Bung's had, like, the whole thing. Look, it's nearly finished. Pen and Goggy are having some as well. He knows what he's doing. He's had all the ice cream, and then he's biting it on his own. Going to take the dogs for a quick walk. Well, Bung Bung's already run off somewhere. It feels good to be back home. It's about 4 p.m. now. So I wasn't really intending on going to the shooting range today. It's just because we were driving past. It was still early, so I thought we'd pop in there. And I wasn't planning on talking about the shooting range much. But when we went into the shooting range, they mentioned an incident that happened yesterday. So I looked it up on the news, and I'll put a link to the article in the description. So yesterday at a shooting range in Thailand, one of the instructors was killed by one of the students. So according to the news article, what happened was the student thought that they had a dummy round in the gun. Turned out it wasn't a dummy round and shot the instructor, and the instructor died. So when we got to the shooting range, they said to us, because of the incident that happened yesterday, do you want... Well, how did they say it, Pen? What did they say in Thai?
You want someone to be with you.
They said, do you want someone to be with you? So they're offering to have like an instructor or someone stand next to us and then keep an eye on us, you know, for gun safety. But we said, no, we're probably okay. Even though, as I say, me and Pen are beginners, I'm really crazy about gun safety. And that's all we're there to do, really, like gun safety drills. But obviously what's happened on the news at this shooting range, where the instructor was killed, there's really only one reason that could happen, and that's because they weren't following gun safety rules. Because let's face it, anyone can have an accident. Everyone makes a mistake. All of us, we all do it. We're all human. So if what the news article says is accurate, that the student thought there was a dummy round in the gun, well, one of the rules of gun safety is it doesn't matter what the situation is, whether you think the gun's loaded with real bullets or dummy bullets, or whether you think the gun is unloaded, empty, it doesn't matter. Always treat all guns as if they're loaded at all times and never point them at people. So really there's two rules that have been broken there, isn't there? The student didn't treat the gun as if it was loaded at all times, and the student must have pointed it at the instructor at some point. I don't want to make a bit of video about this for like an I told you so sort of thing, anything like that. I'm just talking about it because they mentioned it at the range to us when we went there. So I thought it was relevant to talk about. And you never know, there might be someone watching this video that doesn't know anything about gun safety. And by my mentioning that there are rules, it might make you go and look them up. Not many rules, not complicated, but if you learn them and follow them at all times, then accidents like what happened yesterday, you know, can be avoided, hopefully. It looks like both the dogs kind of wanted to head back towards the house rather than going out for a full walk. I guess it's still quite warm. It is actually quite warm today, so. Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, I think he was a bit hot. We're all a bit hot. It's very hot. The other day I got this flat tyre and I didn't have a jack or the nut turny thing, or so I thought, but the Hilux does have a toolkit. I do have a basic nut turny thing. There's a few bits and pieces in it. I wanted to show you, this is in three pieces. It kind of connects together, and then that hook, I had no idea about this. There's a hole there on the back of the car. You put the hook in there and it attaches to some little winch thing. And you see the chain, and you spin it around and it lowers the spare wheel down so you can get access to the spare wheel. And it's under the back seat here. I didn't know that either. Pull it up a little bit and then there's a hatch, a little flap. And right, it's back in there for next time. But as far as I know, there's no jack. Does anyone know? It does seem kind of silly, isn't it, to have the nut turny thing but don't have a jack. You need both, don't you? So is there a jack? All right, so that's my plane. And the adhesives I need to carry on with the door frames. I also stopped off and got a few spare wall tiles for the small bathroom. So when the tile people show up next week, hopefully, they'll have what they need to get on with it. Well, I'm already sweaty and I've got about an hour till I want to go and have a shower, hour till dinner time, so I thought I may as well carry on with a little bit of work. Cut off them water shoot things off this one. You can see at the top of this tree also, see on the camera, there's like 2 trunks growing at the top there, so that's why I want a step ladder. But it is just awkward to get anything in here and not damage the tree and not damage the branches and get in close enough to reach up the top there. It's not easy. Once the trees are a little bit bigger, it will be a bit easier because we'll be able to stand on the branches and climb up the tree itself a little bit. But at the moment, the branches are still just a little bit too thin, a little bit too delicate. Well, I've done it as high as I can reach. It's quite a lot that comes off, isn't it? This isn't a proper prune. This is just really just removing the water shoots, and it's a wheelbarrow full. Just as I'm doing this pruning, I saw quite a big footprint on the ground, a paw print. I mean, it's not massive, but it's pretty big. I'm sure that's bigger than Gorgie's foot. But anyway, look, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So anyone know what that means? Is that a dog print or a cat print? What are you saying? Or is there one up the top? You can't reach it. Right, we'll hold the camera then. This is why we need a step ladder, isn't it? Because if I don't buy a step ladder, Pen will be climbing on a chair or a stool or something silly. Well, Gorgie always comes over here, so we've definitely got Gorgie footprints here. So I thought if I measure these, right, so I'd say edge to edge, that's about 8 centimetres across. But we'll double check another one because that would be sensible. Let's check that one out there, look. There you go, look, it's corroborated. Look, it's 8 centimetres again. Oh, this is science. It's starting to go yellow on the bottom, yeah, so it's starting to go a bit soft. Yeah, good, so get it in the fridge.
New bug coming up there.
Please. I'm not being funny, right, but that, I've got the 10 lined up on one side and then it comes over to about 19.5. I don't know, look. Is it the mud is squishier here and he went in deeper? I don't know. We'll check another one. Look, I'm not being funny, look. And this is coming to the 19. Look, that's the national park over there. So it's possible anything could be living in there. Lions, crocodiles. Gorgie, just 10. I'm seeing 18. 18.
You've already sleep. No.
So I'm having a quick look to see if it was a dog paw print or a big cat paw print. Could it be a tiger? See, they're saying that's a tiger paw print. Isn't that exactly what it looked like? But it says a female could be 10 to 12 centimetres. So if that one over there is like 9.5, then Pen's saying I'm crazy. Am I crazy? You lot tell me, am I crazy? Dogs are all sleepy. Often taking them out all day in the car like that does make them pretty tired. Cat's in here as well, so